Good afternoon. My name is Harvey, and I'm here with a very special guest, Harry Tripp. Thank you for being here. We're very happy you chose to be part of this exciting project. What branch of the military were you in?
I was in the United States Coast Guard.
Why did you choose that branch?
I chose that branch because you had to get a high score to pass to get into it. And then my draft number came up, so I kind of already talked to the recruiter, so I joined the Coast Guard.
When did you serve?
1969 to 1973.
Where did you serve?
Basically, the ship I was on was based out of Boston, and I got assigned to the ship, and then I found out I was going to go to Vietnam, which, if I'd have gotten drafted, I would have gone anyway. So it was one of those, and it seemed like it was just inevitable that I was going to be going. So we did between Boston, and then we did 5 training sessions in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and then we went down through the Panama Canal to Vietnam.
What was your job in the military?
I was, like he said, I was an engineman. I was a snipe, what they call snipes, which I have a T-shirt that says that, but nobody knows what it means anymore. So. But I was in the engine room.
What were some of the reasons that you joined the military?
Well, Vietnam was running, and it was a draft number, and when I graduated high school, I had no idea what I was going to go. I looked at college courses and stuff, but nothing interested me. So I just decided that apparently the military was going to be my best option. I could do my 4 years, get out, and continue on with my education if I wished.
Were you drafted, or did you join voluntarily?
I joined voluntarily.
What do you remember about the day you went to boot camp?
It was a pretty scary day. You know, it's like I went through Westport, all the schools in Westport High School, the old Westport High School, and I was 18, and it was difficult to, first time I had really been away from home for something of anything besides travel, and I remember getting on the bus in New Bedford. Then we went to New York City, and that was a big eye-opener in New York City because I'm from Westport, right? But then we took the bus to Cape May, New Jersey, and I remember getting off and the DIs yelling at us. That was my mother and father never yelled at me, so it's like it was a very difficult thing for me to hear and see. But after a day, you get over it.
What was it like there?
Coast Guard boot camp was second to the Marine Corps boot camp, and it was like it's almost the same amount of time, but we did. My company commander believed in running, so we ran in step everywhere we went. Now you're talking 40 guys all trying to run in step and keep up, and he would call it the cadence, so it was easier for somebody just had to listen and run. So that was one of the most difficult things, and sometimes some of the requirements they ask you to do, if you made a mistake, you'd have to sit there and hold your rifle a certain way, and that was a tough thing to do, but I chose it. I had to go through it. That's it. You have to get it done.
What are you most proud of from your time in the military?
Most proud of? When I came back from Vietnam, I was proud of what we did in Vietnam. I know it involved lives and stuff, but beyond that, I was proud that we were able to contribute something to the war. And then when I came back, I had a year and a half of. I stayed on the ship for 2.5 years. When I got off the ship, I went to Woods Hole Search and Rescue, and my proudest thing is we went out and saved people when they were in trouble, and it didn't matter the weather. The Coast Guard motto was you have to go out, but you don't have to come back. So that's what you went. If it was nastiest weather, snowstorms, windy, cold, you went out. And my happiest time was 2 of the rescues that we did. They involved 2 young women at the time. They were on a small sailboat, and somebody reported them overdue. So at the time, we had to go and search. So you set up a grid pattern and you search different areas. And my happiest time was when we found them, and they were so happy to see us, and because they thought they were going to die. So that's part of that happened 2 times to me, and that was my happiest time of being in the service.
How did the service shape you as a person?
Well, like everyone usually says, we went in as kids, and it didn't take you long to learn what you have to do, because everyone else's life depended on it. So that was, I'm sorry, what was the question again? I lost track.
How did it shape you as a person?
Oh, yes, and you had to grow up. You had adult responsibilities, and you were just 18, 19 years old. So you had to fulfill those duties to the best of your ability. And that means, everybody on the ship. Coast Guard ship we had 100, normally it would have 135 personnel to run the whole ship, which is a small crew, but we multitasked. We all trained differently for different things, so we could all do a job. Like if we got hit in the side, with a shell, we could do damage control. We could fight fires, whatever. We always cross-trained, so that was, but that forced you to grow up, especially when you started doing it for real. When it really happened, and you reacted immediately without thinking. That's basically what the boot camp was, and then training on the ship to make you react to something immediately without thinking.
Do you have any advice for someone considering joining the military?
I would say if you feel like you can do it, because it's not for everybody. But if you have an inkling and you don't know what you want to do with your life, you can go in the military and you're going to learn. They're going to teach you a lot, and you're going to learn a lot. And when you get out, you can continue your education. I did that. I got an associate's degree when I got out of the service, and so it's you are going to learn a lot, and you're going to grow up very quickly. That's what I mean. So not to knock any of the kids today, but I see some kids that have no direction, and they have no control over how they act. And if you were in the military, that's taught. You learn that very quickly, because if you don't, you pay dearly for it. And you can't go anywhere because you signed the bottom of that paper for 4 years. So you have to either do it or they can kick you out. But that's not something anybody wants to have as a dishonorable discharge. So.
Thank you for participating in this project. Thank you for your service of our nation.
You're very welcome. Thank you for the nice questions.